This right here is a 1/10 scale Adam Eve figure made by Diamond Select, and at first glance for $15 it looks pretty great, and from a distance it really doesn't do that bad of a job at adding an Adam Eve figure into your display, but coming up close, and I mean close, that is when it really starts to fall apart. Now, one thing I will praise Diamond Select for, and trust me, this will be pretty much the one thing, is that this box art is pretty cool. We have our little cross-eyed Eve in there. Coming around to the back, it's still a pretty nice box art, and I even went ahead and ordered Robot, but I ended up getting a second Eve figure in the mail instead, and I just seriously cannot believe they did this. I wanted a Robot. I did not want another one of this Eve figure. And I mean, just look at her in all of her cross-eyed opposite of glory. I don't even know what you want to call it. And if we flip this box around, this Eve also has the same eye problem. It's still cross-eyed. At that point, I honestly just give up. But hold on. I'm not just going to immediately dismiss it. Let's look at some of the accessories, such as her power effects. And these are supposed to be pink. I don't know why they're clear. Don't really understand that at all. But you know, that's just one of the 20 things we're gonna have to overlook in this video. Yes, they should be pink. They are clear. I think we just have to get over it at that point. Now, coming over to something I actually do like, this is Shrinking Ray, and I think the paintwork on her might actually just end up being better than Adam Eve herself. Only thing is that she really can't stand on her own because there is no peg for her on the base. One good thing I can say about this figure is she comes with a very large amount of hands, a lot more than actually a lot of other 1/10 and 1/12 scale figures, and she even comes with a pair of hands with her power effects already on it, but these are also wrong and clear. And then coming around to the back of Eve, she does have a peg port for this very piss poor cheap display base, which doesn't even hold her in place, and it's super hard to get her to stay standing upright. Don't even start telling me I didn't screw in the display base. Yes you, look at you yourself. I use a screwdriver. This cannot tighten anymore. You can see it will not turn. This thing is just a piece of cheap plastic junk, and I will throw it out. And it really also is very tempting to say the same thing about Eve, but if you take a look at these two videos on TikTok right here, I kind of am holding a little sentiment towards her, but absolutely nothing for this one, and I mean nothing, like seriously nothing. And okay, now paint. Here we have that head sculpt. Yeah, god no. As you can see, we already do have some scuffing on her upper thigh. No biggie though. And then coming down to her knees though, these are a really weak spot for Diamond Select here. First of all, these joints are super stiff, and it doesn't look that bad when it's fully out, but again, once you do bend these knees, it gets really bad. You can see some pink scratching, a ton of mistakes. One thing I will say though is the hair is actually a very smooth coat of paint, so good job there, I guess. The cape is also a very solid piece of little bit of give plastic, so you can't really see what's going on under there. But yeah, this head sculpt just terrifies me. It could not have been that hard to make the eyes straight. And her chest logo must be some kind of stamp or something because it is really clean. But yeah, for figures for $10, I've seen better than this. And it's not like there is much to redeem this figure, but we can go to articulation. Arms go just about 90. Obviously, this is a ball pivot, so it goes all the way around on a very tight joint, and it is not very pleasant to move it around. Elbow bend is just about 90 degrees, meh. Now coming over to her hips, if we pull those up, and it is really apparent to see where those hips and those thighs actually start to scratch against each other, which actually leads to some pretty deep scratches. And it even looks like it's gouging out of her leg, which is pretty crazy. And then coming over to the knees, you do get 90 degrees. You are not getting any double knee bend here, sucker. Obviously do have that nice butterfly pivot, and I say nice very lightly. And the hips go really far out, which I'm really surprised about. Torso, it's really tight, but you can manage to get a 360 out of it. Ab crunch going forwards is pretty good, but going backwards is pretty severely hindered by that cape. And you kind of get a same story with the head. The hair is in the way a lot of the time. Going 360 it can manage, but going forwards and backwards is a very big struggle, especially backwards. And yeah. And after receiving this figure, I'm sitting in my little humble abode right now, hoping that the license to these Invincible figures gets passed on to literally any other figure company right now. And by the looks of it, it just might. We might just be in luck because Diamond Select or Diamond Comics, whatever you want to call them, just filed for bankruptcy, which is absolutely insane. And I didn't pray for it, but I'm not complaining or crying either. But don't let this sway you. If you guys do like the figure, you know, might as well go buy it, especially if you just want to complete the set. But for a standalone figure, I just cannot recommend it. So everybody, thank you so much for watching, and if I should do more 1/12, just comment down below because I really kind of want to. And also let me know if I should keep doing the set.